Terrific to be here. Today, I'm very honored to be here in support of clean cookstoves. It is a shocking statistic that Rada just gave us a couple of minutes ago. 4 million people die across the world as the result of air pollution caused by traditional cooking methods. 4 million people every year. And these deaths are entirely and completely preventable. That's why I'm so happy that this initiative is underway, that so many different organizations in the private sector and government and civil society, so many different people have joined together to try to address this problem in Kenya and in countries around the world. And that's why I am also very, very pleased that the US government has also been very much in support of this initiative as it works across the world. As early as 1980, the US government funded an alternative energy project to study the construction of small stoves in rural areas. 2 years later, in 1982, the United Nations Energy Conference right here in Nairobi, a competition was held to design an improved cook stove. And the winning design was developed by a Kenyan. No surprise to those of us who have spent a little bit of time here and have seen things like M-Pesa, but the winning design then was from a Kenyan, Maxwell Kinyanjui. It's what they called then an improved jiko or stove, and it was one of the very first clean cook stoves. It was a great invention. But now, almost 30 years after Dr. Kinyanjui's invention, too many households in Kenya, particularly in rural areas, continue to burn firewood and charcoal for cooking and heating in unimproved, traditional, old-style stoves. And across the country, household pollution causes somewhere around 15,000 premature Kenyan deaths every year, as Julie mentioned. Again, a shocking statistic. And it is women and children who suffer the most, for they really have to take on the job of cooking and fuel collection in households. And the widespread use of firewood and charcoal not only burdens Kenya's families and hospitals, it also destroys the natural environment and puts pressure on Kenya's forests. In 2010, the United States government accelerated the search for innovative solutions to this global problem. And that was when then US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton helped to launch the Global Alliance for Clean Cookstoves. And in just 3 years, the Alliance, with the support of the US government and its partners, has made great strides in developing a thriving market for clean cooking solutions. And the total commitment of the US government in support of clean cookstoves now stands at $125 million. That's around 11 billion Kenya shillings. And this investment is helping the Alliance to achieve its goal of enabling 100 million homes globally to adopt clean and efficient stoves and fuels by 2020. And in Kenya, the goal is to ensure, as you've already heard, 5 million homes by 2020, 7 million roughly by 2030, that they also adopt clean cooking solutions. And to get there, the United States has worked with financial institutions to support commercial lending to clean cookstove enterprises and committed an overseas private investment corporation OPIC loan of $3 million to help private companies to support the establishment of a cookstove assembly and manufacturing operation in Kenya. So we are very active right here in Kenya. And through the US Centers for Disease Control, we've conducted evaluations to assess stove performance, acceptability, its adoption in rural households to see how they're working. The United States and Kenya are also cooperating in the International Standards Organization. There's a meeting coming up, as you heard, working to establish internationally recognized standards for clean cookstove technology. And our goal is to promote market-based solutions. And I'm pleased, as part of that, to be able to say that 2 US companies are working in cookstove production and distribution in Kenya, Burn Manufacturing and EnviroFit International, and both have made significant contributions to the cookstove market here. EnviroFit alone has improved the lives of more than 1 million Kenyans with clean energy technologies. After helping Kenyans in their homes with clean cooking, EnviroFit has now developed new institutional stove technologies that will make the lives of people better in schools and in orphanages and in community centers across this country. This past November, USAID announced that it would award $1 million to 3 organizations to promote fuel-efficient cook stove distribution in Kenya. The 3 competition winners were selected from among 43 proposals for their innovative solutions to overcome the distribution and financing bottlenecks in the Kenyan cook stove market. The Kenyan Union of Savings and Credit Cooperatives will develop cook stove-specific credit facility that its nearly 1,400 savings and loan credit cooperative society members can use to lend to Kenyans to purchase cook stoves. Boma Saft Limited, another competition winner, is a Kenyan women-owned business that will expand and strengthen its distribution network. And Byrne Manufacturing Company and Micro Enterprises Support Program Trust will create a revolving fund that will provide financing for cook stove distribution in Kenya. As the result of this work together, more and more Kenyans own and use clean cook stoves. They're healthier, and their homes have less pollution. And the burden on Kenya's forests is reduced, the burden on Kenya's hospitals is reduced, and the growing market for cook stoves is creating jobs and strengthening manufacturing here in Kenya. As we celebrate 50 years of U.S.-Kenya relations, I'm proud of what we've been able to accomplish together in so many different areas, and cook stoves is most assuredly one of them. However, there's still a lot of work to be done, and to reach the goal of enabling 5 million Kenyan households to adopt clean cooking solutions by 2020, we will still have to work together. We do have a marathon to run together, and we are very much going to do it together. We're going to need energy, commitment, and creativity, but I know that Kenya can and will succeed in reaching this goal. And by bringing together innovators, producers, distributors, and so many others in so many different sectors and areas and parts of society in Kenya, this conference is an important step towards developing and building a strong market for clean cook stoves. And I just want to underscore again that the U.S. government and my mission is very proud to be a part of this work. On clean cook stoves, as in so many areas, the United States is a friend and a partner. And our commitment will not change, it will not waver, it will not alter. So we look very much forward to the next 50 years of our partnership, and a partnership that's really committed to making the lives of both Kenyans and Americans better. Together, we will make this happen. Together, we will bring clean cook stove technology to Kenyans all across this country. Asanteni sana, thank you very much. Terrific to be here.